Okay, the Massey hasn't ran in about, I don't know, 5, 6 days. It ran for 5 or 10 minutes and then it shut itself off, and then I tried to restart it and I couldn't get it started, so I just left it. And anyways, I'm pretty sure it's either gel diesel or water in the diesel that's frozen. So got a new fuel filter, and anyways, we're gonna attempt to change the fuel filter and then air bleed the fuel system, and see if we can get started. It's been plugged in for a week. It should be warm. I got the helper, so it's minus 20 according to the dash, so I don't know if the helper's going to be helping much. So anyways, there's the air bleed there. Continues on to the next page. So this is kind of what we had. If the engine unexpectedly fails to start, or if it starts but stops again after a few minutes of operation. So I think that's what we've got. So anyways, I don't know, because we bought this tractor in the fall. So I don't know what the scoop is, but the fuel system's been changed on this tractor. We don't have these double canisters with the cartridges in them. We have spin-ons. And then the junker parts tractor has the spin-ons, or the cartridge. So sorry, the spin-ons that we have been adapted to this tractor off of something else. If you go off of the FRAM number, it's a P3594 spin-on primary fuel filter. It says it comes off a case engine, and forget what the other engine was, but anyways, there's this lift pump on the side of the block. You basically pull this lever up and down, it primes, and it pushes fuel up to the fuel filters and then over to the injection pump and then up to the injectors. So I got fresh diesel and a brand new filter, so we're going to try that. Change the filter here in a minute. Okay, so I got the tractor tarped. I got the flamethrower inside here. So it's like having a match in a hurricane, but if you're standing beside it, it's not too bad. So there's the FRAM fuel filter to spin on, and I gotta take this panel off to get that filter. Well, I can get the filter, but the air bleed is up in here, so I'm just gonna pop this panel off here real quick. Okay, I got the cover off the Massey here, and there's the spin-on fuel filter, and there's the air bleed bolt, I guess, right above it. So anyways, we're gonna change the filter. There's the lift pump down in there. It's drove by the crankshaft, so it comes from the tank to the lift pump, from the back of the lift pump up to the fuel filter, from the fuel filter across the engine and over into the injection pump. So it's somewhat straightforward. So I'll attempt to take that off now. Alright, so here comes the fuel filter. Well, and it's actually full of purple diesel that's not gelled off. So that may not have been the problem I thought I was hoping it was going to be. So we'll pre-fill a new one. It's not a Fram, it's a Baldwin filter. So they looked it up online, it's a direct cross. Even though that thread there looks bigger than that thread. Hopefully it just is the way it looks. Okay, got the Baldwin filter on there, and I primed it. I primed it using the lift pump. And you have to go full stroke on these things, up and down, up and down. So I bled it here at the 90, I bled it on top, and I bled it here. So this fuel filter should be full of diesel right now. It was fairly full when I filled it with diesel fuel when I put it on, but then you got a little bit in the filter housing and stuff you got to fill up. So anyways, I will attempt to start the tractor, and if it doesn't start right away, I'll have to bleed the injectors. So they're a little bit more difficult because of where they're located, but it's more or less the same process. Okay, I got the battery clamps on. Battery running off the truck. The dog's in the cab there monitoring the battery charging activities. So I just revved the truck up using my snow brush to about 3,000 RPM. So when we start to crank on this thing, it'll pull that truck down. So just one final look over here. Everything still looks alright. Got the flamethrower still blowing hot air through here. It's getting the temperature up. It's starting to melt the snow on the top of the hood. So go get this thing started. Okay, so I tried her twice. She still didn't want to start. So I cracked the injector nuts here, going to the injectors. So there's no fuel dripping out of them. So I'm assuming it's dry. This one here is always wet. And it had a little bit of fuel at first, but it doesn't have anything now. So according to the manual, you only got to crack 2 of them. And once you get fuel up to them, it'll kind of self-prime the other 2 and push the air out. So try this. Okay, I got a little ahead of myself. I reread the manual. You have to crack these 2 vent plugs on the side of the injector pump. This one down here, and this one right here. And you got to go use the lift pump so you get air-free fuel coming out of them. So we don't have air, or we don't have fuel over to the injection pump because they're dry as can be. So we get fuel to here, and then we crack the injector lines at the injectors. So I tighten them back up.